New Radio Sports Network in 105.1 The GOAT, joined by head coach Mike Peck after a thrilling 35-32 victory for Gibraltar. Coach, you mentioned this is not how you drew it up here, but you got to be pretty happy with how it was drawn by the end of the game.
Yeah, I mean, we knew coming in that this game was going to go one of two ways. It was either going to be a dogfight, or we were hoping to get out of here with kind of an easier game. And obviously, it went to the dogfight option, and our kids came to play. And you know, for the 13 kids we had, they dug in deep, and they definitely, when it came to nail biting time there in the fourth quarter for some people, I know there was some anxious conversations on the headsets tonight, but I had all the faith in the world that we had plenty of time left on the clock when they scored that last touchdown. And I know that when Brady and Braden are on, there's just it's going to be hard to stop those two.
Now, we talked about with Brady in Harrison before. How hard is it, especially for you, the defensive coach on the team, to kind of go through a half like that where, I mean, you guys are in the right spots and stuff. They just keep on piling up first downs and they dominate the clock like they did. Yeah,
it's actually kind of interesting because if you'd come to our practices, you hear us talk about 3 yards in a cloud of dust. Well, they 3-yarded and cloud of dust us the whole second half. The fact of the matter is, and then they would, lull us to sleep, and then they throw a big ball, and we just weren't ready for it. We talked about it all week that's kind of the way that their offense is designed. They're gonna pound, and when you least expect it, they're gonna try and go deep, and that's what they did to us. And they hit a couple balls. First one we weren't quite where we needed to be. The second one we had great coverage. Kid made a good play, and sometimes that's the ball. The other team's here to play football too, so we can't get mad about it. We got to keep our heads up and come back and know that there's still time to play the game, finish out the right way we want to do it.
How crucial is it for your team to experience a game like this where you're able to kind of build that resilience early on rather than try to maybe dig something out? I mean, now you have experience that you can kind of draw back on.
Yeah, I think actually, as much as I don't want to say I wanted to have it happen, it's nice to actually go down a little bit there in the second half, and our kids had to make a choice. Either we were going to pack our bags and go early, or we were going to go to work. And they obviously made the choice to go to work tonight there. And then the offense did and came back, and they were diligent. We even had a couple broken plays on that last drive, just kids maybe still not quite understanding all their assignments, not going to the right places. But, athletes came to make plays, and that's what happened on that last drive with both Kita and City.
And then finally, I mean, you give the offense to Tom Sawyer. You never know what's going to happen. When he kind of runs some of these play ideas past you, you just kind of smile and be like, okay, I hope they work. I mean, what are those conversations like on the sidelines?
Well, it's interesting because sometimes I try and guess the play that he calls, and I'm way off base. I'm like, yeah, you got this one called? He's, no, I'm not even close. So just watch. I got the right one called. So it was actually we had that same, credit him on the touchdown play they made at the end there. They called timeout. We were in the huddle a long time. Like, you got the play you want called? Because I can call a timeout here. We got 3 of them left. Let's, if we need to, get the right play. He's like, no, it's the right play. And then it's a play we haven't ran since last year at Lena. So it's you just never know what's going to come out of that huddle. You don't ever know. The fact of the matter is our kids are really smart kids, and if we draw something up in the huddle, they seem to execute it, and that's what happened on the last play by City making a great catch in the corner, and then Brady finishing with a 2-point conversion.
Well, Gibraltar leaves Suring with the victory. Coach, we'll see you next week.
Sounds good, Tim. Thank you.
You've been watching 105.1 The GOAT in the New Radio Sports Network.